sorts of things that are popping up in the newspapers today, re health matters, but re pay matters. A widening gender pay gap is hitting female managers, women over 40 earning more than a third less than their male counterparts, according to a new report by the Chartered Management Institute. And we've got Belinda Parmar with us now, and Belinda's the chief executive of the marketing agency Geek, and she's author of The Empathy Era. Belinda, how do they get away with it?
Well, the problem is that women tend to struggle to get their voices heard in organisations, and specifically around pay negotiation. So often it's not an intent that companies do this, but in my experience, women tend to undervalue their contribution and men tend to overvalue their contribution, which makes them better negotiators.
Okay, so it's down to negotiation.
Part of it is down to
just why I question that. Most women at that level of management that I know are tough cookies. You wouldn't want to mess with them too much. So why, when it comes, do you think there's a specific flaw then when it comes to, they can make executive decisions, but when it comes to talking about money, there's an embarrassment?
I think generally in this culture, Britain, we don't like talking about money. So definitely...
I love talking about money.
A lot of women don't like talking about money, so we definitely need to be more open and transparent and have those conversations. But I do think women are brilliant negotiators. They are often great empathizers, and empathy is a great way to negotiate, but they're not using their skills to negotiate better deals. I mean, in my own team, one of my best performers, I asked her how much of her bonus she deserved. She said 30%. And she's my best performer.
Okay. Well, could I ask you then, do you take advantage of that situation because you know women are not good at that, or tend not to be good at that negotiation? As a boss, can you take advantage of that?
Well, I'm sure people do. I got her up to 70%.
Did you actually? All right, that answers that. But look, sexism in the workplace wouldn't be tolerated. Racism wouldn't be tolerated. Why is payism?
Well, you're right. I mean, it's been 40 years since the Equal Pay Act, and we're still in this situation. So we need companies to be more transparent. Large companies with clear pay structures should publish those pay structures. It's very difficult, though, to measure, because you could be sitting next to the same person and have completely different roles. So it is difficult to measure. I think more importantly, companies need to understand what is going on here. Is it a pay gap or is it an opportunity gap? It may be that actually you need to promote more women in the organisation, get them to the top, so give them a clear career progression. It's not always about pay. So the first thing to understand is what is really going on here. The second thing is, you're right about the British culture. We need to be open about talking about money. I mean, things are not changing fast enough. I have a daughter. I want her to get the same as my son when she's in the workplace. We all want that.
Yeah. Isabel, from previous experiences, previous jobs or anything, would you have an opinion on this, or from friends that you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from my group of girlfriends, I wouldn't say many of them are at management level yet, but I know that from my girlfriends' experience, they would say they're probably worse than their partners, their husbands, their boyfriends, their male friends at negotiating. Not necessarily in general life, but when it comes to money, there does seem to be an inability. And I know of friends that have gone in, asked for a pay rise, haven't been very good at sort of phrasing it, gone home, you know, in tears in the car, saying, I know what I'm worth, I know that I should be paid this, but can't quite get there in those meetings. And I do think, from my experience anyway, that women aren't very good at adversarial situations, especially when it comes to pay.
And I think we need to get women to negotiate hard. And my advice is always ask for a figure that's ridiculously high, because it's very hard to negotiate upwards, but very easy to negotiate downwards.
It's hard.
Okay,
it's
very
hard
good
to do,
advice there, Belinda, and she's the author of The Empathy Era, and she's chief executive of the marketing agency Geek. Thank you very much.
Thank you.